in Spain.
Perfect. Wonderful. This is the most complete introduction anybody has ever given me. I feel like we could just end the video here. Let's
Hope you
let's
guys
call it a day. So it's been a pleasure, everybody. See you later.
take care.
Welcome to English with Lewis. Let's go!
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are watching this from. On that note, I haven't asked you this in a while. Where are you watching from? Where are you from? Let me know in the comments. I'm in England at mum and dad's house with my full fridge and lots of cups of tea. I'm just having a delicious cuppa. But
Sounds
anyway,
like
we have a guest, a wonderful guest that I know more than I've known any of the other guests I've had on this channel. So I'm delighted to welcome Paul.
Hi everyone. I can only see Lewis now, but hello to everyone when this goes out. Thank you for having me on, Lewis. How are you?
I'm not bad. Yeah, I cannot complain. I've been complaining a lot recently about the weather, but I'm not going to do it anymore. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
But no, I'm great. And for people who haven't seen you, they haven't watched your videos, they know nothing about you, could you do us all a favor and introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hi everyone. My name is Paul. I'm from London in England, a place called Harrow, but unfortunately not the super posh school that we all know, but one down the hill. Not Harrow on the hill, but down the hill. I live in Spain now, maybe for nearly 4 years now. I won't bore you with my Spanish because it's still a little bit low. I sometimes throw it into my classes for fun to show them my level so they feel more confident. Yeah, love living in Spain. I live between Alicante and Barcelona. Most of my time now in Barcelona. My parents and my grandparents have had a house there since the 80s, so we have a little lovely place to look after. So the main goal was to move to Spain, have a super awesome Spanish level, and maybe manage the property and not teach English. But, you know, when you plan in 8 years' time and in 5 years' time, I don't really believe in it. Now I believe in now. So started teaching in 2019. Was just a part-time job at first, but started to like it. Really rewarding. I could see the growth in it. There was a lot of jobs at the time, and I love the flexibility. I've lived in Madrid. I worked physically in an academy. Very good training. Could be a challenging job for the schedule, and you had to work on Saturdays at least. But apart from that, met some really good people, learned a lot about my language, which I like to bring to my classes. I recently started a Instagram page and the other social medias too. So it's fairly new for me, but I'm seeing little results. For me, 10 people liking is enough for me to keep going. So it's nice to see how it's going, you know. Love all sports, love playing football. Yeah, and try my best every month to stay in Spain.
Perfect. Wonderful. This is the most complete introduction anybody has ever given me. I feel like we could just end the video here. Let's call it a day. So it's been a pleasure, everybody. See you later.
Take care. No, we've done it too much now, haven't we? We've done it too much.
Exactly. But no, let's break everything down. I'll try and keep everything in mind and ask you some more specific questions regarding each little bit of information that you've given us. And the first bit was about the fact that you are from London. You said a place called Harrow. Is this north, south, east, west? Whereabouts in London is it?
So in the Borough of London, this is northwest. So in my classes, if you say, I'm from Harrow, nobody goes, oh, so if I say near Wembley, or if I say it with a bit of not the best pronunciation, Wembley, it's like, oh, you live near Wembley Stadium. So Harrow is close, you know.
Okay. Perfect. You see, London for me is just so big and confusing. Like I'll divide it into like the east, west, north, and south. And my only way of really knowing where things are in London is thanks to football. So I think, okay, Fulham and Chelsea are West London. They're really near the River Thames. Then you've got West Ham, which confusingly is East London. And then you've got the North London derby of Tottenham and Arsenal. And then in South London, you have Millwall and Crystal Palace. Is that right?
Yeah, I think, Crystal Palace South. Yeah, I thought it was maybe closer to Fulham, but I'm not 100% sure. Even for us Londoners, when I hear somewhere, I'm like, oh, right. Sometimes I don't know, but I know, okay, he's from London.
And many people associate people with London as speaking like Cockneys. Do you have a Cockney accent, or do you use any Cockney rhyming slang?
Whenever I think of this question, I think of my dad, and we say like, I think of my old man, where if you say this in another language, it's like your old man. That's rude, but we say this all the time, how's your old man? How's your old man, Steve? Yeah, he's flying. He's kicking. I wouldn't say I'm Cockney, but maybe when your mates are all together, it can come out and be funny, like, we all do it as Brits, but when a friend is coming into a bar, we always go, here he is. We know he's coming. We texted him, but it's just like, here he is. What are you doing here?
Speak of the devil.
Exactly, yeah.
Everybody, be quiet. He's coming.
Yeah. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah. Super Cockney? No. There's some other people with that title, that's for sure.
So you don't use words and phrases like a Ruby Murray to say that you're about to have a curry?
Yes, we would say maybe cheeky Ruby. Anyone fancy a cheeky Ruby tonight? Oh yeah, where? There's a lovely place uptown. Also, when we say uptown, this is London City. This is, if someone in London says, I went uptown, it's not, you went to Wembley for the day. No, it's a day out in London seeing the sights. Anything, maybe apples and pears for fun, but I feel like that's a cop-out now. Everyone says that one. No, maybe one will come out. Maybe one will come out.
The dog and bone?
Dog and bone for phone. Hank Marvin starving.
Okay, yeah, you got it. It's all coming back now.
Don't ask me who Hank is, but Hank Marvin would be starving. Marvin starving. And you notice that the ends of what rhymes,
No, it's interesting because I personally don't use any Cockney rhyming slang, of course. I'm not from London. But then even people from outside of London are familiar with the most common ones. So we just went over a Ruby Murray is a curry. The dog and bone is the phone. Hank Marvin is starving, to say you're very, very hungry. So yeah, if you'd like to know some more Cockney rhyming slang, let us know in the comments, and maybe we can make a collaboration video going over some of these useful Cockney rhyming slang videos together, but we will see. And continuing on the topic of London, now you're living in Barcelona, you've been in Alicante. Would you like to return to London to live in the future, or not so much?
I think the quick answer is no. That would be the fast one, I love visiting to see my friends, my family. It's a great place to be, honestly. Like the big opportunities, I don't feel them, We could go back in a heartbeat, We could go back, but the quality of life now is better. I think the balance is a little bit better. Yes, there's days where you're maybe getting by with money, where in London it's, you think more of the future maybe. I've learned a lot now living in Spain to live today, where I remember in London I was regretting the past job and thinking of the future. It was never, right, today let's leave the office and hang out with someone. It was always A to B, office, home. Friday, maybe I've had a long week, home, or the bar.
Uh-huh.
Also, it's nice to wake up and see some money in your pocket. You know, if you have a spontaneous night in London, you won't forget the experience and the damage on your wallet.
Exactly. I mean, London is known for being so ridiculously expensive. Everything is a rip-off. It's so expensive. But on the other hand, it is true that the average salary is much higher than in Spain. So it depends how often you go out. I guess if you go out often, maybe it's better to be in Spain because having a beer is much cheaper. And if you're trying to save up to maybe invest in property and get on the housing market, then London possibly is better if you're happy just scraping by and just living with the basic of having a meal deal every day, and that's about it.
And that's not even an exaggeration. I remember I used to work near London Bridge, and it would be, what meal deal today? Shall I change the drink? Shall I change the crisps to feel a bit different today?
Uh-huh. You're feeling a little bit funky.
Oh, you're crazy today. Yeah.
So you mentioned your previous job when you were living in London. What exactly did you used to do?
In London, it was like more audiovisual related, but it was quite corporate. So my first ever job was, I think it was called like field service engineer. And it would be as simple as maybe going to Debenhams in Oxford Circus, turning the screen on the video wall. Or if it was more, it would need a second visit. I liked it because I learned a lot about my city, the map, and I've been in a lot of the buildings, so it was awesome. But then after 6 months, I wanted to focus on one place, learn how to give a service, you know, and look after equipment, like, and not be hopping. You'd spend a lot of your time on the tube or waiting in an expensive cafe or something like this. That's when I started to work at Ernst & Young as a contractor in London Bridge. And I learned a lot here in the 2 years. Became a coordinator, like telling people to bring equipment to a room, dealing with a lot of PAs of people in, you know, the accounting world. Was very stressful, dealing with big clients, you know, because, you know, they think they are the best in the world. This is the only meeting happening. So there was a lot of like maybe email battles after, if there was like reports of why we asked for assistance, why was it here 5 minutes late, and all this kind of thing. But I think this is where I caught my professional area. You know, maybe sometimes I'm a bit too corporate, maybe in classrooms or in conversation. You know, you lose your character a bit because you want to be the sound man, you want to be the lights man of the show, but you find out corporate is where the career is, where the money is, so you stay here. One more job was out of London, a place called Watford, a nice hotel called the Grove, and this was maybe the peak of places to work, in my opinion. It was a good position. Didn't last too long due to 2019's problems with the pandemic. But that's when teaching came and helped me, supported me for a while.
Teaching was your saver.
Yeah, my knight in shining armor.
Without teaching, you'd be no one.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just pulling your leg. I'm just taking the mick. So to pull someone's leg or to take the mick is to joke with someone, to kid with someone in a nice, friendly way. And just going over some more advanced vocabulary that you used. You said a PA, which is a personal assistant. And you also said that you were hopping on the tube. So to hop is to jump, basically. And in this context of hopping on the bus, hopping on the tube, it's saying like you got on it quite quickly for short trips. Yeah. So you are hopping on the tube on the London Underground. Now, speaking about London, I mentioned the football teams. Which football team do you support?
Tottenham Hotspur. This is my team. It's common to follow your dad's team, you know.
Your old man's team, right?
Exactly, yeah. Nice one. You're following your old man's team, and mine is Tottenham, like my dad. Yes, one day we can celebrate together with a trophy, I hope. I hope
Yeah, one day, maybe.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
So, Tottenham, you have this amazing new stadium. You're consistently in the top 7 or 6 in the Premier League. You got great history, but Tottenham is a football club that is known for being very Spursy. And the full name is Tottenham Hotspurs. So you can call them Tottenham or Spurs. And being Spursy, Paul, what does it mean to be Spursy?
Firstly, I think it's a great word. It's a super, super great word and quite new. Spursy is like you're in the final, you've done everything to get here. All you have to do is, you know, put one hand on the trophy and the other one, but you choose, no, not today, not today. And you fall at the last hurdle, you know. Super Spursy. And we use a word like bottle job, which is when it's the big day, you know, we're shaking and we lose, you know. It's for some reason we prefer to throw it away than to at least give it a shot, you know. And it's out of context as well. It's used for, oh, look how Spursy that project was, you know. People are using it out of context, and then football fans go, what does Spursy mean? Spursy means you failed. And also Tottenham are rubbish. Just remember that as well. You know, it's a circle like this.
No, it's funny because obviously there's a big rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham. And in recent years, to be honest, neither club has been winning all of the trophies because Man City have been winning practically everything. But it's an interesting rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham. I have more Spurs supporting friends than Arsenal supporting friends. So if I had to say which team I preferred, I would go with Spurs. And also because Leeds can be quite Spursy as well. We're known for always getting close to achieving something, but never quite managing to do it. You're falling at the final hurdle, as you said. And we tend to bottle it. You said that Spurs are known as bottle jobs. A bottle job is the noun and to bottle is the verb. And it means to be close, but not quite close enough in order to get over the finish line and win something. So Leeds and Spurs are quite Spursy. We always bottle it.
Yeah, they're desperate. They're desperate, honestly.
One day we're going to win something, I promise.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, moving over to Spain, you mentioned that your parents and grandparents have had a house in Alicante for like 20 years, did you say?
So, sorry, yeah, since the 80s.
Wow, 40 years.
Yeah, we're super lucky. We're super lucky. And my grandparents moved over when it was quite, I have a feeling it was just looking through the newspaper and neighbors going, this looks nice. And then neighbor coming over and saying, yeah, I will go in number 12, you know, and then I will go in number 15, and everyone kind of moved together. I think where the house is, it was owned by a postman, like a Spanish postman, and a funky character built properties, all different sizes, different shapes. Maybe wouldn't be possible now to do with planning permission, but my grandparents were one of the first in that area to have a property, and now we look after it. I love looking after it and staying there.
Wonderful. So you look after the property. Do you mean that you like rent it out to people who are staying on holiday, or what exactly do you do?
Not just yet, not just yet. That is definitely in the pipeline, you know, it's in our plans to do. But at the moment, it's more friends and family come. I work from home, so it's like my office, you know. Gardening, you know, nice things like gardening or maintenance. Yeah, but that's in the future, we'll definitely do that, investing into the property, making it nicer, basically looking after what you have, thanks to our grandparents, thanks to my parents looking after it. We give back, we're lucky.
So if you're in charge of all of the maintenance, the gardening, and all of this kind of stuff, does that mean that you are a bit of a handyman? Are you into DIY, do it yourself?
I think when we get to DIY, this is where I fall off. Maybe,
I was like, all right, I'm coming back to London.
yeah. The flat pack stuff. Oh no, I don't know about that. First, I need the right tools, and that's not a handyman. A handyman can do it with anything. But maybe painting, okay, I can see the reward, and this wall is going to stay here. I don't need to put my leg here, put my arm here. Handyman, no, that goes to my dad. My dad has that one. When there's a problem with the house, it's dad that fixes it. Yeah, he's the DIY handyman.
Perfect. It sounds like we share a lot of the same things in this case because I'm awful at DIY. I cannot fix anything. I can't even turn and change a light bulb. So I'm a useless excuse for a man. But hey, it is what it is. I acknowledge it now and I just accept that this is something that I'm never really going to be good at. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, in Alicante, is the house near the beach or is it more near the mountains?
It's more near the mountains. It's on one mountain. It's very close to a mountain called Coiderakis, which is very popular. I think it's a stage, maybe, I don't know now, but maybe it's a stage on La Vuelta where they go up. I've seen them train with the cyclists, but more than anything, it's a great viewpoint and it has a restaurant on the top. I had some friends recently visit in March. We hiked to the top and there was one more road going round and I say, I'm sure there's a restaurant. And they're like, are you sure? If we have to go this bit more, I'm not going to be happy. And then luckily I could see it, the big satellite dish. It was open. They all had a nice dessert. Everyone was happy. But it's more in the mountains. Maybe the closest beach could be Calpe, or I found a new place in Benissa, which is close. But maybe Calpe more popular. 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive, maybe with the quiet roads.
Awesome. And are you more of a beach guy or a mountain guy?
That's a good question. I think when I live near the beach, I don't go as much, where I like the journey of going. So maybe more mountain guy, maybe more. Maybe a small mountain where we would say
a little hill.
Yeah, a little hill where you can see the beach and the mountain. No, I choose one. Mountain for sure. Beautiful views, driving around. The beach will always be there,
I like it. You didn't sit on the fence. To sit on the fence is to be a little bit indecisive and not be able to say exactly which option out of two options that you prefer. So I asked Paul if he was more of a beach guy or a mountain guy, and he didn't sit on the fence. He said, if I have to choose, I'm more of a mountain guy. And let's move on the conversation to travel a little bit, because earlier on this year, you went on quite a big, exciting trip to celebrate your birthday. Tell us about it. Where did you go? Why did you go? And what was it like?
Yes, exactly. I turned the big 30 this year in May, and I went between Thailand and Vietnam. So it was 10 days in total. I went with my girlfriend and we did, I think, 10 flights in 10 days. It was crazy, super, super crazy. But Thailand was amazing and Vietnam as well. But when I return here, it will be for a long time. It'll be for a long time. It was a great trip of this place is amazing and then leaving, But no, next time it will be for a while, for sure. The food was amazing. The people never said no. They never said no. It was, I need to get here. is there a taxi? And they say, I have a motorbike. And I say, I'm with my girlfriend. And they go, yeah, I can fit three on. And no,
Oh,
they never said no, or it would be, oh yes, 5 hours this way. You know, it's never no, you can't, there's no taxis, there's no anything. Yeah. People who were working, they all seemed to love their jobs, you know. Someone sweeping outside like a busy bar, dancing away whilst doing it. And
loving life.
yeah, loving life with not a lot, you know. It was a big a nice shock for me. And even being super British, waiting for the green man, you know, when we crossed the road. I remember in Hanoi in Vietnam, we're crossing and everyone moving. And when people beep, it's not how we hear it of get out the road or you donut or something like this. It's I'm here, watch out. I'm here, watch out all day, you know.
All right, exciting. I've got some more questions related to this, but it's interesting that you used the word donut. Uh, so you said, get out the way, you donut. Donut can also be used as a bit of a friendly insult
Yeah,
to say that someone's a bit silly, they're a bit stupid. What a donut. Because, of course, we eat donuts. And Homer Simpson and The Simpsons in general is famous for having donuts and the police always stopping by and getting some donuts. But I don't know where the insult comes from, but it's nice that you used it. And I was like, I should probably stop there and explain what donut
yeah.
means. Because if not, people might be thinking like, what do you mean? Donuts in Vietnam when you're crossing the road? Are they
Exactly.
free?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But Thailand and Vietnam and 10 flights. How did you decide on the itinerary and where you were staying and how you were traveling? Because it sounds like a lot of distance covered in a short amount of time.
Super crazy, super crazy. The itinerary was mental. I've never planned a trip like that, but it all worked. And I think my future trips are going to be like this, planning like military, you know, having a budget for these are the hotels, book them. We will be there at night, you know, just book them all. Even to the point where maybe 4 days in, you're like, where am I going this morning now? Oh, yeah. And you're taking screenshots, but I have to say, the notes on the laptop are amazing. I use them a lot now. I think when I became self-employed, I used it more to keep a profile with a student, you know, general conversations about cats. That's strange to see in your notes, but if you bring that up next month, you have the student next month, it's, oh yeah, we talked about cats.
Tell me about your cats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, the itinerary was great. And I have to give a big shout out to my girlfriend because she helped a lot. And it took us many hours and many drafts to have the final shiny product, you know?
Interesting. And I've been to Thailand, but I haven't been to Vietnam. Were they quite similar? And if you had to choose, would you go back to Thailand or Vietnam first?
Oh, it's a good question. What's the difference with Vietnam? Could it be more built up? Maybe some more. Yeah, I'd say maybe the cities were maybe more modern, I think. Or maybe I needed to see more. As I say, 10 flights in 10 days, it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, both places were just great. Both places were awesome. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't say what a big difference is, but I can talk about where I would go back in a heartbeat, and that would be Vietnam and maybe the North, you know, because it's super beautiful, super beautiful. I had a bit of a stressful time in Bangkok, but that's normal, isn't it? That's super normal for everyone to have stress there. And maybe the kind of grabbing tourists I saw more here, but that's, come on, I have to expect that rather than the relaxing in the north. But yes, Thailand for sure, but not Vietnam is a super close second. Like that place is great as well. The currency is a little bit different. Like there's a lot more zeros, 000, like the Vietnamese dong. I think we always compare things to a beer, but a beer was maybe a bottle of beer was $80,000. You know what I mean? Like 80,000 dong, where I completely forgot how much it was in Thailand because this number just took my memory. 80,000, you know. And I made sure to keep the money to show my family and friends like 5,000. What can you get with this?
You're a millionaire.
Yeah. And you say maybe a bottle of water if you're lucky.
I mean, you have to be very good at maths. If you have so many noughts, zeros on the end of your currencies, then actually adding it up and timesing it and stuff like this is tricky because I'm not very good at maths. So the simpler the currency is, the better, really.
Yeah. Thailand is your place for sure. Like I think now that I remember, maybe 100 for this. Okay. Now I can 100 bahts for this, for that, or whatever.
Yeah, amazing. Now, let's finish off chatting about the reason why we know each other so well. I mentioned at the beginning of the conversation that you're probably the person that I've interviewed who I know the most. And the reason for that is because we've been working together for around about a year. I work at Teachify that I've mentioned multiple times, and Teachify is an academy, online academy that was born in Seville in Spain, and we teach in-company classes, one-to-one classes. We've recently brought out a new AI app as well, so hopefully the future is bright. And yeah, Paul started working for Teachify around about a year ago, and his life has never been better, right? He's a millionaire. He just said it.
I'm hopping everywhere, like we said earlier, but I'm hopping from my house to house, you know, my penthouse, maybe in the future, yes, but
We'll see.
no, the company is good. If you're an experienced teacher and you want to have managers that have trust in you, you will turn up early, the basics, but also you're going to give your own style of teaching. This is the place, you know. The freedom, the big thing is the freedom I haven't felt with other companies. You know, some companies, they're looking at that green dot, you know, to see, he's not in yet, he's 5 minutes late. There's actually not a lot of this. There's none that I've seen, you know. You keep students for a very long time. It's not tomorrow, you know, it's this person, and tomorrow you build a rapport with people, and if you stay long enough, that cycle goes round. You go, oh, I miss Manuela, you know, a random person. I miss Manuela, and then maybe 4 months later you get her again. You go, oh, how was the last teacher? You know, you say for fun, were they better? It's okay, you can be honest. Or what did you prefer from her or him? But yeah, the freedom is good, and even at first felt strange to say, no, I can't work that hour. You know, that's never been said in previous jobs. No, 2 to 3 p.m. on Wednesday, not possible. And why is that not possible? You know, it's okay, no problem. You know, there's a lot of respect if you show, you know, it works both ways. Nice content to work with. The students are ready to have, you know, a moment of sharing screen, sharing notes, and then carrying on. But they also like it if you bring your own flair, you know. Maybe one student joins and says, no, I can't do that today. You're not going to go, no, it's policy to, no, what do you want to do instead? We can do it next week or in the next 20 minutes, you know. The flexibility is awesome, I have to say, like even in the class, you know.
Wonderful. Well, long may it continue. Let's hope for many, many more years. And of course, given that we're both working for the same company, we're both teaching students at Teachify, of course, let us know once again in the comments if you would be interested in having some classes for your company or on your own with Teachify, and we'd be happy to help. But you can check out the website teachifyapp.com and find out as much information as you would like. But the last point is the fact that obviously I create my own content, and all you've recently started doing the same. So why did you start the page iStudy with Paul, and how's it been going so far?
I study with Paul. Yeah. It's going well. I think for the past, no, it's nearly 2 months, and I have just over 3,000, which when you look at other profiles, it's baby numbers. But for me, that's crazy, 3,000 people that have followed me. Some maybe not real, but
That
it's
doesn't matter.
yeah, it don't matter, Ferrari followed you. You're like, what the hell? This is not. I like it. The first day do I need that human presence still to talk to the camera? Even to the point where like I get a post-it note and cover my face and use the other side so I don't see me and I'm laughing. But what helped me, if there's any advice for people getting their face out there, firstly, that's where the numbers come, is if you're able to have the strength and courage to show yourself, not just doing maybe animations. The other one is consistency. Like, you forget. You just upload this video file tomorrow and the next one and the next one. And then after maybe a week or two, you scroll down and go, oh my God, look at all these faces of me. I've really enjoyed a low profile online, but now that I can see a professional avenue, or maybe in the future comical, it's good, and there's a nice message, it's a nice playful message. I'm really enjoying it. But a question for you, maybe ask for you, because you have a mountain amount of followers compared to me. What's your favorite memory from recording videos?
It's difficult to say my favorite memory of recording videos. I've been doing it now since, I think it was April 2021. And I've mentioned previously that I wish I had started much earlier than that. I wish I had done it pre-pandemic, and then who knows, maybe there'd be millions of people watching this video right now. But it's never too late, and you can only really take action on what's happening right now. And if you're worried about what you did or didn't do in the past, it's not really going to get you anywhere. You're not going to make progress thinking and worrying about what you could have, should have, or would have done. But I'm very good at being consistent. And I guess the videos that I enjoy making the most are the ones that I initially feel the laziest about. They're the ones that I'm embarrassed to record, or the ones that I need somebody's help to record. Because 90% of the videos that I make is just me doing it 100% on my own. But then from time to time, if I'm out or I'm in a cool place or doing something interesting that I think would be visually appealing for the people who follow me to improve their English, then I think looking back on these videos, I think, that was really worth doing. I'm glad I did that. If I think just a few months ago when I was on holiday in Ibiza and I went to Formentera and I didn't want to record anything, I pre-recorded a month's worth of content before going on holiday to make sure that I didn't need to think and worry about being consistent. But I was in a beautiful place. My girlfriend was with me. So I was like, "Oi, would you mind recording me just swimming with this beautiful transparent sea? It's clear blue. And then I can just put my voice on top of it after. So then it's minimal effort, but I still always feel a little bit bad or lazy when it comes to making videos outside in front of strangers. But I think these are the videos that usually perform the best, and they make them the most memorable, both for my students and for myself. So they're harder to do, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice. Like, it's quite funny. You see the funny side of the creator. He's at the beach you know, it's all informative and it's useful, you know. I remember like you were swimming across, you know, the word, yeah, I think you used across, but it's hard to explain that in a class. You can't go like this, you go that way, but that helps, you know.
No, exactly, 100%. So if anyone's thinking about starting making some videos in your own niche, then listen to Paul's advice as well. Just go for it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly.
I
But
don't think.
the hardest part will be what you're doing, and that's the consistency. That'll be your biggest challenge, and not the nerves. I feel.
Exactly. And anyway, on that note, I think we should call it a day. Let's finish for today. It's been a really interesting little chat about London, Cockney rhyming slang, Alicante, Vietnam, Thailand. Lots of expressions have been used at the same time. So yeah, as I've mentioned a couple of times, if you have any questions for either of us, let us know in the comments. We'd be happy to help. And don't forget to check out tgfightApp.com as well, in case you're looking for some business English classes for your company. We'd be more than happy to help.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Paul, and thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Lewis.
See you later. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you next time.